Hey, friends at YouTube, hold on one second. Let me get situated. Sorry. Okay. I wanted to talk about something that I've talked about once before, maybe twice before, but how many times in the Bible does it talk about in fact, I'll just go from like Matthew 24, where it says immediately after the tribulation of those days. Don't ask me why that is after the tribulation. And I can't figure that out. But at other times it talks about the earth. It says immediately after the tribulations shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Now, we know that means meteors, comets, flying through comet debris, things like that. But what could cause the sun to go down? Well, ash plumes, volcanoes, sun going down at noon. But why would it come up at all? But in that day it will go down. How many prophecies are there of that in so many books? I can think of about 6 that I know of. But what I did want to point out was, think of the shaking of the heavens as I read this, and it says, well, let me see where to start. Okay, and another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given to him much incense, and he offered it in the prayers of all the saints, and the altar was before the throne. And the smoke and incense which come with prayers and saints ascended up before the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. Now, what cast into the earth would cause an earthquake? Is this a literal censer we're talking about here? Is God not talking about shaking the heavens with heavenly things? Have we not seen more meteor activity of late? Is there something coming? Are they hiding Nibiru from us? Are they hiding Planet X from us? Because something out there is causing gravity distortion. That's how we found Pluto, Neptune, and all that in the first place. Gravity distortion. Something is causing it. They're not willing to talk about it. But you notice they are building underground cities. And look around for these places. There's an underground city in the Ozarks. And you can drive through them. There's underground cities in, like under Denton Airport. You can look that up on the internet. So many more things to do with that. And the 7, let me go back to it. And the angel, let's go to another one. Okay, here we go. And the second angel sounded as if it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and a third part of the sea became blood. Now that to me screams asteroid or meteor, a mountain of fire being cast from space to Earth. Alright, we're either going to go through that field debris or a meteor is coming to Earth. And it says it 3 times. Even wormwood, the name wormwood means poison, bitter, and it poisons the rivers and the seas. And you get down here, if there fell a great part from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountain of waters. And the star was called wormwood, poison, meaning not worth anything, wood for worms. And the name, okay, hang on. And many men died because of the waters and were bitter. And here's where it goes. And the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon. Now, what could cause that? Now, what could cause all that to come simultaneously? If something hit the ocean, if something hit in that kind of fashion, would it cause enough plume, especially if it just hit in the sea? Are we talking about 3 or 4 different events? Or did it, if it happened in the sea, would it be enough vapor to block out a third of the sun? Or how do you block out a third of the sun? It seems to be the only way would be that way. But here's another way that you could only get a third day of sun. And I'll look at it this way. What's causing all this activity? What's causing the heavens to fall? Could it be Planet X? Could the ancients have mistaken Planet X as a comet? It doesn't have to be a planet at all. It could be a moon with its own moons. It could be an asteroid even. It could be a comet. There's some sort of distortion. They are building stuff underground. It does say, let the rocks save them. And you know when it talks about, in Revelation, it says, they go and hide in the clefts of the rocks. They're digging these things underground. Why? What do they know they're not telling us? Okay? They have all sorts of these things. And go look them up. I'm not kidding. These are cities underground they built in the rock. It says, and they cry to themselves, they hide from the Lord. They hide, their hearts fail for what is coming on the earth. Does that mean heavenly things are coming? Are we going to learn of a meteor when it's too late and they're going to go in to their hiding? Could that have been Planet X? Could that have been the Nibiru we've been talking about or been hearing about? I don't know. Could it be a planet system? I don't know that either. I've even thought it's possible that, especially on its orbit, that it could be that Nibiru is where the angels that were held in chains of darkness, spoken of by Jude, Peter, everybody, Enoch, those angels that found women attractive and mated with them in Genesis 6. Okay, they were locked in chains of darkness. Now, could that mean that they? Hold on, let me make sure I'm still on. Could that mean that they were locked in a way? That way, they can't get back here. Well, on its orbit, these Nephilim, whatever, they're coming back. I particularly don't agree that they will be coming back from that planet or that it is a planet. I like to look at it that they're in this place called Agartha and study that, and where Azazel is, and where it says the abyss. It says the angel will come down with a key to the abyss and let out the locust army, and the Antichrist will come up from the abyss. I think it's in the earth. I really do. A lot of other people do too. Anyway, that could be one reason, but ask yourself about that. What could cause all these heavenly things? We have supermoons. We have blood moons out the yang right now. We're having solar eclipses. We're having all these things happening on these wonderful days. It does say there will be signs in the heavens. And so many places talk about the sun. The one other thing it could be is if this comet, this planet, whatever Nibiru is or whatever's coming, could shift the pole. We know the pole is shifting at a dramatic rate, I would say about 4 feet a day right now. It shifted like 4 miles the other day. I don't remember. It was like huge, and nobody knows why. Which I think has happened twice in the past. I think the time that Joshua asked God for more time during the day because they couldn't finish the battle, God said okay, and he gave them sunlight through the whole day. He didn't stop the world because that would have fried everything. I believe he changed the angle, kind of like in Alaska at 6, you get 30 days of dark or whatever. And in the day of Hezekiah, when he said, hey, you want the sundial to move forward? I'll prove it to you. And he said, well, that would be easy for you for a God. Let it move backward. And so he did that. And I also believe it happened there because at that date, it's when the Chinese, in Joshua's days, the Chinese have on their calendar the day of night. Anyway, it's the day of darkness or something. At that same time, in the same time. And that time, everybody went to 365-day calendars instead of 360-day calendars. People said they knew for so long. Nobody knows why. Everybody had a 360-day calendar. It fit right, but it wasn't right. And everybody switched at that time, about 700 BC. But it happened to coincide with a polar shift, in my opinion. So is that possible? Is that what we're looking at here? Is Nibiru a comet, a planet, a something coming that is actually warned of in the Bible? Read that when it talks about an angel cast a stone onto the end of the sea where the beast comes from. He cast one on the land where the beast comes from. and it makes the waters poison somehow. I mean, something in that comet, radioactive. Is that particular comet wormwood? Is that nuclear war? We don't know, but the possibility exists, and the heavens are coming to a weird sort of thing. Signs will be in the heavens, and you guys all know about the gospel in the stars with the Virgo giving birth. That's in Revelation 12. Go back and read it, thinking of Leo the lion, the king star, Virgo about to give birth, and Draconis or serpens or whatever, Ophiuchus or whatever, Ophiuchus, the serpent being under her, ready to catch the child. And then look up Gospel and Stars. But read that in chapter 12 in Revelation. And don't think of it as literally in the sky, because that'll be a sign, and it will really happen on earth. And most of that did happen on earth, but we're still waiting for it to happen. And when God can't get to the Jews, He will come after the Christians. Okay, so read all this up, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.